Hello guys, it's me, the voice from the darkness. Look at it, man. It's just, what time is it? It's like nearly 8 o'clock. It's fucking dark, and guess what? It's raining again. You get to a point where you think the sun, nah, that was just some delusional vision I had once a long time ago. Anyway, what the fuck. I just felt like doing a little video because I came across an old notebook of mine, and it was interesting because I wrote this shit down about 12 years ago, and it just popped back into my life. And they're doing everything they can, you know, to absolutely make us feel, make us think and behave as if we are utterly defeated. That is very much the name of the game now, right? There's no doubt about that whatsoever. I mean, my YouTube channel, the last, I think, 4 or 5, I don't know, videos I've done, it's like, oh, nobody's watching your videos, right? Yet when I go into analytics, it's a very different story. And I've noticed this on other channels as well. In fact, a friend of mine has her own YouTube channel, which is pretty groovy, but it has absolutely nothing to do with, well, you know, with the sort of shit that we talk about, alright? But it's a great little channel, all about animal totems and medicine and that sort of shit. Now, her subscriber levels have gone up, yet her viewing figures below each video have plummeted, like mine. My subscriber levels have gone up, right? But my viewing figures have plummeted. It's like, sometimes my likes, you know, thumbs up, go up, and then all of a sudden they go down, and or there's none or whatever, you know. But you see, I refuse to be baited. You see, I just don't. No, I say fuck that shit, and I will keep doing videos when I feel like doing a video, and I will speak about what I'm guided to speak about by my true self, because I feel that that is what matters. You know, obstructionism, algorithmic obstructionism, manipulation, gaslighting nonsense, and of course the whole NPC fucking bullshit. Like yesterday, we drove to a place called Boscastle, which is in Cornwall, and that in and of itself was dark. I don't know what it is about Cornwall, but man, I live in Devon. I mean, you know, literally on the sort of border between Devon and Cornwall. But I'm telling you, man, there's something wrong in Cornwall. It's dark. There's something energetically very fucking wrong with Cornwall, and I've always felt that way, and I don't like going there, but we had to go to Boscastle. Something said go there, alright? So you get there, and then there's this massive car park, and it's empty, right? So you park your fucking car, within seconds, this big black car pulls up, music blaring out, really, really loud, horrible, some sort of techno type music. I think it was a bit like psytrance. I absolutely fucking despise psytrance, right? I really hate it. Really, really hate it. I like some sort of techie music, yeah. I have very specific musical tastes, and some of it, yeah, I like. But psytrance, I absolutely fucking hate. And I'm actually quite suspicious of music that has very repetitive beats and whatnot. I remember being in my early 20s and the whole rave scene was up and coming, my true self even then said there is something not right about this. It reeks of mind control and consciousness manipulation, and I was fucking right, of course, you know, and so I never really got too involved in it, you know. Anyway, that's another story, as Rudyard Kipling said. But this black car belching out, like it was obviously a diesel, it stank, it was dirty, it was black, it was big, it was right next to my fucking car, when it could have parked fucking anywhere, right? Belching out really shitty psytrance type music. So the creature in it got out and disappeared, literally. It was like, whoa. I could see it getting out and slamming the door, and then it literally disappeared, and then it reappeared, and it was like halfway between a man and a woman, fuck knows, with all dressed in black, and I'm like, yeah, that's about right. And I could have, you know, I wasn't even angry, I wasn't even upset, I was just like, that is some really shitty fucking music, is that? Yeah. And like, what, you have to park right next to me? Yeah, right, okay, whatever. I'm not afraid, and I'm not going to get upset either, and I'm not going to do anything, and I'm not going to say anything, because I'm sovereign, and I've got better things to do, you know? But it's just one of these things, do you know what I mean? This is what it's doing now. It is, the Matrix, if you want to call it that, is literally becoming more and more agitated, and so it's becoming more and more hostile, see? So on the external plane now they talk about compulsory V's, you know, to scare the fuck out of everybody, and all that shit's going on. And yeah, it's always the same as usual, predictive programming, fucking garnering consent, and oh, they're doing this and they're going to do that, and blah and blah and blah, and you know, next thing you know, if you allow yourself to be influenced by it, you know, you're bathing in fucking fear. It's very easily done. It affects all of us, you know, it really just is. So you've got to work yourself through it. You've got to feel it, because it will trigger you. It will fucking trigger you, you know. And so you feel it and you let it go. And this is the point of my little video this morning, is more than ever before do I feel that it is imperative to let go, and to let go, and to let go, and to let go, and to let go. Keep letting go. There are two types of consciousness. There is the hell contagion infected consciousness, and it's interesting because a couple of days back I was taken, it almost felt like I was coming full circle in a way. Many years ago, well, not many years ago, not like 732 years ago, no, but maybe about 3-4 years ago, I can't remember exactly. I had a vision whereby I saw the consciousness parasite, and it was a little grey creature with black eyes, similar to the greys, only it was like a little fish type thing, and it was going like this, like it was gasping, as if it was dying. It was gasping, but it was already dead. It was very strange, and it was very surreal. And I then went for a walk, and I came across the there's a big road here, and it's like it goes right over a skateboarding park, and there's a little tiny statue there of, guess what, a little grey fish-like creature with black eyes, motherfucker. But that was some years ago. So that something happened, and it brought that really starkly back into my awareness, and the words parasite cleanse really reasserted themselves. Parasite cleanse, and that is what this is. Now, I think it's all symbolic, you know, so not to be taken quite literally exactly, because again, none of this is real. It may feel solid, but it ain't. Cup of tea. It's not solid, guys, you know. It is all a product of a consciousness that's been hijacked by a parasite. A parasite that is in essence already dead and is gasping for breath and will do anything it can to keep us in its control. The whole idea of it gasping for breath and the whole idea of it actually already being dead is because it's artificial intelligence, you see, versus the true organic consciousness, which is what the true self is all about. The fail-safe mechanism is letting go, and I'm strongly reminded of this tiny little Tai Chi master. Now, when you look into martial arts, most martial arts, that is, that includes Shaolin or that includes Tai Chi, you will find that it's not about attacking at all, ever. It's always about using the force of your enemy to deflect him, her, it. Right? It's actually non-violent. It's actually non-aggressive. Especially Tai Chi, I find. And many years ago I saw this YouTube video and it was astonishing. It was this very old, I mean, he was fucking ancient and he was tiny. He was about 4 foot, I don't know, whatever. Tai Chi master, right? And it was a demonstration and there was this long line of beefy fucking, I don't know, Buzz Lightyears queuing up, thinking, yeah, whatever, we're just gonna, you know, kick the shit out of Mr. Tai Chi over there. Well, they did not, I tell you. He literally brushed them off like they were a feather. He didn't attack them. He was a neutral force of pure power. He was neutral. He knew himself as infinitely powerful and harmonious and sovereign. And these big chunky men kept chucking shit at him, right? They came at him again and again, and he just effortlessly, that was it. He wasn't, see, now if that Tai Chi master had stood there and looked at the oncoming onslaught, believed it to be powerful, more powerful than him, had believed himself to be in deep shit, had given into fear or hatred. And believe me when I say that all this Hell Contagion inspired hatred and rage comes from a place of fear. And then the next thing there is the self-hate. Oh, I'm so powerless, blah, and oh, and oh. He'd have been crushed like a bug. But he was in his power. Right? No contest. This, I feel, is where we as soul travelers find ourselves now, and it is the choice. The choice. The Hell Contagion, the parasite, the consciousness parasite, the black hand, which is the voice of society, which is the black creature, you know, all the lies, all the subterfuge, all the gaslighting, all the manipulation, all the fear-inducing gaslighting nonsense, day after day after day after day, as well as coupled with the awakening that we are going through, which in and of itself is horrendous, because of course the more awake you become, the more fucking excruciating this experience is, because you see, you know that you live in a body that is falling apart, decaying. They call it growing old, but it is nothing like that. It's decaying. You live in a dying body. You live in a world in which everything perpetually fucking dies. You live in a world where everybody stupidly does the same stupid shit over and over again, expecting different results. It is a fucking exercise in stupidity, in futility, and in banality. And the more awake you become, the more you see it, the more you feel that. You purge and purge and purge out these parasites, right? The parasite cleanse happens more and more. This also makes you feel like crap, right? Because a detox will do that. You'll Herxheimer, you know, it will make you feel like crap. And you'll be shedding stuff. People, right? There will be people in your life, and you will realize after having known them for maybe 2 years, 3 years, that, whoa, they're a narcissist. They are, you know, this is a big thing that we're doing here. This is very, very big, guys. It's very big. And there are so many different ways in which it wants our attention, it wants our focus, it wants our life force, and the only thing to do is to stay neutral. Now that in and of itself requires great focus. You need to continually bring yourself back to that. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, right, yeah, I'm giving this my attention. I'm giving that my attention. Oh, I feel really yuck. Like that feeling of dirt. Like, oh, I'm dirty. Oh, get me out of it. Get me out of this body. I can't bear it anymore. Right? Or, oh, this is happening over there. What the fuck? What? Oh, they're doing this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Or like, oh, another person that you thought was actually is not. And oh, wow, you're a narcissist. But I couldn't see it before. Because you see, this is what happens, guys. There you are, you're associating with, say, this person and that person and so forth and so on, right? And you think it's all great and fine. But already you know on a lesser conscious level that something isn't fine, that something is off. You know this because you feel it every time you speak with this person. You don't feel warm. You don't feel calm. You don't feel like, hey, this is a really pleasurable, mutually beneficial exchange. But rather, I feel like I've been had, like something has been taken off me, and you know something is wrong. But you carry on with this relationship because as yet you're not super aware. And you're not ready to see it yet. But then you go through another really deep cleanse and another detox and another purge. And you elevate yourself on a higher frequency. And all of a sudden, wow, I get it now. You're not. And then they do something or they say something that reveals them as being a fucking blatant narcissist. Then you realize you go back, you think over all the time that you've known them and interacted with them. And you realize, oh yeah, because you have no empathy. And you spent your time doing things that no souled human being really want to do. You know, they talk about doing inner work, but they talk about it in a very kind of cold, metallic, left brain, intellectual, theoretical way. They don't talk about real, raw consciousness and emotions because, well, they don't have it. So another one bites the dust. You have to block them, you have to get rid of them, and every time you do that, you will get an onslaught going on here, the parasites. You see, because it's, oh, you can't do that, you can't, no, ooh. There is always a sense of there will be reprisals, you know, you always get that feeling, you know, try and get out of say you're in a romantic relationship with somebody way back, and you knew you had to get out because getting beaten up every other day is not right, and you need to get the fuck away from this motherfucker. But it's like, oh, you can't do that, because he will come for you and he will beat the crap out of you, right? Never mind the fact that he's been doing that for like fucking as long as you've been with him. So hey, it's time to leave, you know what I mean? It doesn't want us to move away. Now, it's exactly the same with this thing inside your head. It wants you to be afraid. It wants you to be predictively programmed to linger with that. It wants you to be a slave, and it wants you to stay a slave so that it can keep gasping away, because it's barely, I mean, it's dead in a sense. It's very difficult to put into words this, but it needs our life force, people, and we need to stop giving it our life force. And the only way to do it is to focus continually on letting go. So look at your life, look at yourself, where you're at, what's happening. Do what needs to be done, as in, the sacred masculine supports the sacred feminine. Intuition will tell you this is a good idea, that is not a good place to go, that feels right, but I cannot be quite sure, so let's be careful with that. This person, yeah, okay, I'm not really quite sure about that. Now, all that will be happening on your inner plane. Your other side, your masculine, your sacred masculine, will listen to that, get that information, and then act accordingly. So, when you're not sure of somebody, you may move ahead, but very, very carefully, right? When your intuition tells you to go somewhere because it is a good idea to go there, something will happen that will help you, or that will lead you on to the next place where you need to be. You follow your intuition, you act on that, and it will most definitely lead you exactly where you need to go. This is how the maverick effect works, guys. This is how we work with it and allow it to work through us so that our needs are met, okay? Because despite the onslaught, the manipulation, the gaslighting nonsense, the sadistic, obstructionist fucking shit, like on our way into Cornwall yesterday, to Boscastle, there were just a shitload of roadworks, as in bollards and stoplights, like those temporary stoplight things, but there was nothing happening. There weren't even any people, so we just drove through. Fuck that. And housing developments, shitty, horrible, badly built, ticky-tacky houses that they build now everywhere, which is just bullshit, because there are no jobs in Cornwall, man. Cornwall has, for a very long time now, all the young people are leaving Cornwall. They leave Cornwall because they have no work. There's nothing in Cornwall. It's a place, it used to be a place for tourism, but increasingly even that isn't really working anymore. Though last year I think it probably did, because nobody went abroad, so you know what I mean. But it's tacky, it's really shitty and really tacky and really just ugh, And so you see all these housing developments and you think to yourself, that does not make any sense, because there are no opportunities, as they call that, it's just they call that an opportunity, it's like, whoa, get a job at McDonald's, what an opportunity, like fucking hell. I'd rather stick needles in my eye, but there you go. So it doesn't make sense, and it's like I said before, the NPCs are everywhere now. This is an attempt, I honestly believe, an attempt by the Matrix, again, to disempower, to make us feel like, your world is being taken off you by virtue of all these fucking NPCs everywhere. Because, it's literally, I can't exactly put it into words, but I know that some of you have noticed this as well. And it can feel extremely disconcerting when you notice it. It's like, like a hostile takeover. But again, the whole 30% thing keeps coming up again and again and again. And as far as the story of the external goes, it's like 30% is raw consciousness, and that's doing things, even though right now you cannot see it very clearly. 70% is dead, and it's busy tormenting and obstructing and torturing, and all kinds of nasty shit is going on. It's a weird thing that we're in. It's not real, but it is. It needs to how can I put it? It just has to do what it does to reach this natural conclusion, as in the end, as in enough is enough, the end, goodbye, thank you. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. That's what's happening here, I feel. We always had our feel-safe mechanism. We were never ever going to be drowned in the darkness. That was never going to happen. But we need to use the power that we have to focus on letting go. Right? Like the Tai Chi master or the Shaolin monk. You attack, you push back, you allow it to infiltrate you and mangle you and do all that to you. It will suck you dry. It literally will. It will make you know that, because you will feel exhausted. You exist in a torture state, mentally, emotionally and physically. Now, I'm not saying that we're feeling great mentally, emotionally or physically, because like I said, the awakening and the parasite cleanse affects your mind, it affects your body. Depression, anhedonia, just really severe depression or feelings of intense hatred that, like hot flushes, you know, like not just menopausal women like myself, but I have friends who are experiencing hot flushes, who are men, because all that hatred, which we feel for good reason, having been subjected to the most cruel abuse, it comes out physically. So it's hot flushes and it's all kinds of shit is going on. I mean, I saw a beautiful dead fox by the roadside yesterday, all mangled, and that fucking triggered me in a big way. You know, this is par for the course, guys. And yet, whilst in the middle of this dark, sadistic, tortuous chaos, we can choose to hold our center and to keep coming back to that. Let it go. Let it go. Because when you do that, when you do your sacred work, when you feel what needs to be felt and release it, when you see that your power lies in letting go, and so when that evil shit comes at you in all the different ways that it does, you have two choices to make. You can either go into it and allow it to possess you and mangle you, or you can see it for what it is, feel what it triggers in you, release that and let it go and rise. So from within this dark chaos, we keep rising. And it will come to you and it will tell you, well, look at you know, all this work that you're doing and you haven't got anything to show for it and you're not getting anywhere. You have been defeated. It's very busy, very much right now, telling you that you've been defeated and that you're a worthless piece of garbage and that you ain't never going to get anywhere and that you're trapped here forever and ever and ever. It's a fucking lie, guys, okay? Try and tune into your heart and keep walking the straight path. All right? Get rid of people, of places, of movies, of books, of anything in your life that is toxic. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Okay? Get rid of it. Eliminate behaviors. Ah, yeah. Oh, every Wednesday I meet up with so-and-so for this reason, but this person has always felt a little bit off. And I really don't want to do it anymore all of a sudden. I used to be okay with it, even though I kind of knew it wasn't okay, but I was alright, sort of felt like carrying on with it. And all of a sudden now I just can't do it anymore. It's like, fuck off, get away from me, get off me. It's time to call it a day. And it's really, really tough to act on your convictions. It is, because there's always that anti-force saying, no, you can't do that. They will get upset and there will be retaliation and they will do something to hurt you and you're not safe, so you better just carry on doing it anyway. No, 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 no. Get rid of them. Get rid of it. Get rid of them. Get rid of that. Whatever it is in your life that is tethering you to the lower darkness, the chaos, the vibration of shit and hell contagion, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It takes courage to do this, but when you do it, you gain a deep sense of self-empowerment and sovereignty, which then invariably serves as a springboard for more of the same. I have found this to be true. So go for it. Evil always wants you to think it has so much power, yet when you learn to defy it and act from a place of sovereignty, you will find out it doesn't have that power. You see? So that's it. It's really tough going, guys. It wants you to think you've been defeated and that you're a worthless piece of garbage. And if you go into that and allow that to be your truth, you will feel like shit. You really will. And if that's where you're at, because I know for myself, from experience, how difficult this is and how it is like a possession, or it is like we've been spellbound. So it's very difficult to disentangle yourself from it. Hence the skill that I talk about in my last few videos. If you find that it still has a great deal of traction and you get trapped in that state of being, don't worry and don't beat yourself up. Because you will come out of it. These dark churnings that you get trapped in, whatever, you will come out of it. If you're a soul being, then it is inevitable that you rise out of this chaos and into your light and into your magic. It is inevitable, you see. It's your destiny, and it's going to be all right. But oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wow, it's been tough, guys. Hey? It's been tough. Focus as much as you can on letting go. Disentanglement and letting go in favor of sovereignty, being present with this awareness that we are about to be shown who and what we really are, because that is one major fucking issue here. It has taken that away from us, our true identity. We have had this false identity, right, imprinted upon ourselves, imprinted upon our consciousness. Well, you know, you're here, you have to struggle to survive, you have to do all these things you don't want to do that are innately harmful to you. You have to submit to the will of the narcissists and do what they want you to do, because if you don't, they will punish you and you will come to harm, so better do as you're told. And you know, we've been like a worm on a hook our whole life. But the time is changing, and I was given a message in my dream a couple of nights ago, and it was this. It said Artemis rising. Now Artemis is the hunter goddess, also known by the Romans as Diana, but Artemis was the Greek name for her. And it's all about becoming the hunter, not the hunted. We are no longer prey. We are rising, we are rising, we are rising. And it doesn't feel that way right now, and it doesn't seem that way right now. It's all about doing the fucking work, not allowing the dark side to possess you anymore, but to say no. This is not a war that we can win by being the warrior. I used to think that way myself. But the reason that I used to think that way is because the dark side, wanted me to think that way, because I was pushing, I was fighting, and I was like that. And oh, it loves that. That's like the buffet, you know what I mean? That's the life force buffet it needs for its survival. Now I'm okay. I already know that I am sovereign. I already know that I can stand here in myself. I already begin to see tiny but very real little glimpses of who or what I am. And it's not this powerless creature that is at the behest of the dark side, oh, you know, but that deludes herself into thinking, oh, I gotta go and do this, and I'm gonna go and do that. All these external manipulations of how to get out of the matrix, and it's always very left brain, and it's always very metallic, artificial type of shit, then that has nothing to do with doing the real fucking work which comes from within and realizing who you really are and utilizing that power. This is early days yet, true, and you think, oh no, don't say that, because like, you know, I hear you, but it's gonna gain momentum, guys. It's going to gain momentum. This is a fight, but it's fought by surrendering, by letting go. It cannot harm you if you keep letting it go, like I did yesterday. That weird creature, it wasn't a man, it wasn't a woman, it was either, it was both. I have no, it looked weird and it felt weird, and I could have reacted in any which way, but I didn't, because it was like, yeah, it's nothing to me. I am, you know. So guys, that's the best advice that I can give you at any rate, and each and every one of you are at different places in different, you know, whatever, and that's great. You just do the best that you can do with what is showing you in your own unique way, on your own unique path, and you know, that's it. But we are not alone here, and we are not defeated, I know that much. We are rising from within this dark, soupy, nasty, sadistic chaos. We are rising. All my love to all of you.